on my own goofing around. First and foremost, the deck that I chose to climb with this month, just OG combo priest. I don't love Wave of Apathy and Potion of Madness as far as consistency goes, but I don't find a better, like, I don't have a better alternative in mind. It does offer a secondary win con. I feel like it's almost like bad player me leaning on copium option as a possible like out in a situation where they keep blowing up all my shit and I see an option to hit them with their shit. Is it good? But I like the consistency that you get of the creation protocols, always getting 3 options and then sort of going from there. So if I want to win a game, if I want to climb ladder, I usually use this deck. It's pretty good for me. I've done a couple videos on how to play it, so consider looking up Miracle Priest, and there should be something there for you. I've really liked this version of Spell Damage Druid. Soda's version feels very clean to me. Having the Fizzle in the ETC makes a lot of sense. I tried Invitation Courier, and that still costs mana, whereas Fizzle can get you an entire hand to kind of protect against things like Geist and sort of other weird stuff that can just sort of randomly nuke you with this deck. Deck is good. I think a lot of players kind of struggle with the mulligans. The mulligan for it is kind of weird. I like Ramp and Guff pretty much. If you suspect aggro Rising Waves, any burn that you end up drawing, you don't have to save against aggro. You can just sort of spray and play and blow up their boards forever and kind of go from there. But this deck, I find fun. It's very control-y. You have game into pretty much anything. And this is a deck I'm a fan of that I would play on ladder for sure. Hold on. Has to be golden, chat. Has to be golden. There we go. Okay. Reno Priest, I'm actually really enjoying Reno Priest off stream right now. I really like this version of Reno Priest. It's very Tech W. It's very tempo centric. I love playing the Coil Fang Constrictor. It's pretty good in this meta, locking up a card that your opponent doesn't want. And really, if you think about it, this deck is sort of topping off at Spawn of Shadows. I know we got the Reno and the Amethyl, okay, whatever. But really, Spawn of Shadows is what you're looking for. So once you pull Celt, you're always finding it fairly quickly. As long as you have Spawn of Shadows, you can beat things like Seedlock. It's actually not that bad. Even Shaman, I think Even Shaman is surprisingly playable right now, especially if you're queuing into a lot of Pirate Demon Hunters. I don't think Pirate Demon Hunters want to play against this deck. This is actually kind of like a morphed version of my Even list that I was trying at first in OTZs. OTZ went for Jam Session over Crackles. I was doing Crackles over Jam Session. I think it's like 6 on one, half dozen on the other. The Jam Sessions can be fine. Especially clearing your own board can be fine, considering how quickly your board can get jammed up between Carving Chisel and Sing-Along Buddy. Sing-Along Buddy I almost look at as being like a second version of Chisel. But this deck does fine into other aggro, does fine into slow stuff. I've suggested it for some people to climb with, and they've had success. I've had some success with it off stream. I think it's kind of a sleeper deck. I'm not saying it's tier 1 or even tier 2, but I think it's like in a playable sort of tier 3 kind of style right now. OTZ Orb Mage. OTZ sent me this. This is like my favorite version of Hostage Mage to play right now. I know a lot of people are using the rogue cards in Normie Hostage Mage, but I find them to be a little bit awkward, especially post-Pokelt stack. In this deck, cards like Skyla have like an actual usage. Because we generate so many coins, we can make a 0-mana, Galactic Projection Orb and go from there. So I've kind of liked this version more than, say, the other version that's going and doing the Romath stuff. You could still work in the Romath stuff. Right now what we're trying to do is basically run one copy of Wildfire so that every parrot we play is ramping up our hero power, which is kind of fun. It is a possible win condition. And last but not least, the deck that I've been playing a lot of, probably the most on ladder, off screen, is this Chinese number rank 2 Reno Hunter list. No Dino Tamer brand. We are running Mojo Master Zihi. And Aralon. I'm not in love with Aralon. I don't think Zihi is bad. I like Zihi a lot more than I like Aralon. Zihi is a way to, I think, more often than not, aside from being sort of Druid tech, a lot of Reno piles want to get to 10 mana and then use Reno Lone Ranger. We're not running Reno Lone Ranger. We don't need Reno Lone Ranger. So we'll run Mojo Master Zihi to basically on turn 9, drop Zihi. Now Reno Lone Ranger is 4 turns away instead of the immediate next turn, which usually makes our board-based sort of tech W, annoy the shit out of you Hunter deck ahead on board and going to be ahead on board forever and ever, and our opponents explode. The other thing I love about this deck is it bullies the shit out of Charge Druid. The pressure plates get Dorian off of Oaken summons. The snipe gets Dorian if he's played from hand. The pressure plate also gets Dorian once you play any kind of spell. So that's always fun and funny to see. You also got a couple things like if you drop an early Clumsy Steward against Druids, they panic and die. Customs Enforcer, Lamau. Just a bunch of annoying sort of tempo-neutral taxi cards into Hope of Kel'Thuzad, buff them all up. All of a sudden, they're lethal threats now, and you've always got Zephrys over the top. But I'd say of all the decks that I've shown you, I'm playing this the most off-stream. So take that and run with it what you will. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decks that I have fun with when the camera is not on. I hope you enjoy them as a video.